So I don't represent to you today the God of the Muslim religion or the Mormon religion or the Watchtower religion or the Catholic religion. Now there's much that the Roman Catholic Church teaches that is true about Jesus Christ. They believe that he was the eternal Son of God, is the eternal Son of God. They believe that he was born of a virgin, just as the prophet Isaiah declared more than 700 years before his birth. They believe that he lived a sinless life, that he was without sin from cradle to grave. They believe he died on the cross for sinners. They believe he rose from the grave. All of that is true. But my friends, if I were to hand you today a cold bottle of water, and as you're putting it to your lips, I say, oh, by the way, there's a drop of poison in that water, are you going to drink it? Are you going to try to drink around the drop of poison? Are you going to drink the water and hope you're immune to the poison? Or are you going to hurl the bottle back at me and ask me, why are you giving me a bottle of poison? Well, in spite of everything that the Roman Catholic Church says that is true about Jesus Christ, it is a religion filled with poison. And one of the most poisonous aspects of that religion is a superstitious and blasphemous practice known as the Mass. This idea that a priest can call down Jesus from heaven so that his body would assume a piece of bread, and so that his blood would assume a glass of wine, and that Jesus has to sacrifice over and over and over again for the sins of mankind, and that sins can actually be forgiven through participating in the Mass. Now, if she's telling you I'm wrong, my friends, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. See, my friends, what Jesus said about himself is true. As he shed his innocent blood on the cross, he said, it is finished, tetelestai, paid in full. Everything that God the Father required of God the Son to accomplish, to perfectly fulfill his law, was accomplished on that cross. Everything that God the Father required of God the Son to make a way of salvation for sinners like us was accomplished on that cross. And 3 days later, he forever defeated sin and death when he rose from the grave. And he does not suffer day in and day out through a man-made superstition known as the Mass. He is alive and rules and reigns in glory. He sits at the right hand of the Father. He does not suffer through a wafer. He does not suffer through a glass of wine or grape juice. He is the King of Kings. And the reason that there is a bloody dead Jesus on the Roman Catholic crucifix is because they do not believe in the sufficiency of the sacrifice of Christ. They do not believe that Christ shed blood on the cross was sufficient. And they hold on to this idolatry, like this poor lady who's walking away. They hold on to their idolatry. They think that the religious practices in their religion will make them right with God. They think their own good works will make them right with God, and it will not.
To me, your religious passion. I went to Northridge College and got a doctorate in religion. Where did you learn yours from?
Ma'am, your doctrine in religion won't save you, ma'am.
No, I studied the Jewish religion. I studied many religions.
How are you saved from your sins?
Huh?
How are you saved from your sins, ma'am?
Through the atonement of Jesus Christ.
And him alone? And him alone?
And him alone.
Right? By grace we're saved through faith, right? And that not of ourselves, right?
But there's...
And everything else is a lie, is it not, ma'am? Everything else is a lie, is it not? No? No, ma'am, part of the earth. I don't know what they taught you at that Lutheran college, ma'am, but dead, blasphemous religions aren't part of the earth, ma'am. They're not part of the earth.
Stop. Did I say Lutheran?
Oh, I thought you did. What college was it?
Northridge.
Oh, Northridge. Okay, yeah, that's a secular school where the hatred of God is taught, not the love of Jesus Christ. Oh, I do, ma'am. I've had 2 daughters graduate from that school. I've had 2 daughters graduate from Cal State Northridge. So, ma'am, your doctrine in religion has made you religious, but you're a slave to your religion, ma'am. You're a slave to your religion. Your religion will not save you. Your religion will not set you free. Only faith in Jesus Christ and Him alone. Now, maybe this lady believes that all roads lead to God. Maybe that's what she believes, I don't know. I would agree in this sense. All roads do lead to God, but only one leads to salvation and every other leads to judgment. Yes, the Mormon road leads to God, where Mormons will perish in judgment for their sins against Him. The Muslim religion leads to God, where every Muslim will stand before God and give an account for their lives and perish for their idolatry. Catholicism leads to God, but only to His judgment. But only to His judgment. Yes, yes, every road leads to God, but only one leads to forgiveness. Only one leads to salvation. Ma'am, I hope you understand. And I say this to you because I love you. I'm not angry with you. I am not at all angry with you, ma'am. I don't want you to perish in your sin. That's why I'm here. I don't want anyone to perish. There's only one lawgiver and judge. There's only one who's able to save and destroy. It's not a 51-year-old guy named Tony. It is Jesus Christ the Lord. But ma'am, God is opposed to the proud, but He gives grace to the humble. There are no proud human beings in heaven today. There are no proud Baptists or Pentecostals or Lutherans or Presbyterians or charismatic or non-charismatic. There are no proud human beings in heaven. Not one. And why is God so opposed to the proud? Because God humbled Himself. Because God humbled Himself. Because God humbled Himself to take on the form of human flesh through God the Son, through the person of Jesus Christ, who did not regard equality with God as something He had to hold on to as if He could ever lose it, because He couldn't. Jesus Christ was fully God and fully man and without sin. He stepped down out of heaven and humbled Himself to take on human flesh. And then He further humbled Himself by shedding His innocent blood on the cross for sinners like us. That's why there are no proud people in heaven, because God humbled Himself.